So let's talk a little bit about intermittent fasting. With intermittent fasting, what I've been seeing is a lot of people online talking about using it as a means of creating a caloric deficit. That couldn't be any further from the truth, okay? You still have to make sure that you eat your proper caloric deficit within your feeding window. So it's not used to, let's say, skip a meal. You don't need to think about skipping a meal when you're intermittent fasting. So whether your window is 12-12, which would be a 12-hour feeding window and a 12-hour fasting window, a 14-10, which would be a 14-hour fasting window, 10-hour eating window, or a 16-8, which is the most popular, which is the one that I currently use, which is a 16-hour fasting window and an 8-hour feeding window. Within that 8 hours, I am still making sure that I get my caloric deficit, which is already set. So everybody's caloric deficit is a bit different. You know, a lot of people think that dropping 500 to 600 calories is a sufficient caloric deficit. That may be too much for your basal metabolic rate, which is what your body uses daily for things that you have no control over. You know, your heart beating, the way that your body functions, your brain function. You know, there are certain body processes that take place every day that you have no control over that still demand calorie use. So if your caloric deficit is too low, then you're actually doing something adverse to your body. So you need to make sure that within your feeding window, you are still taking in the proper amounts of calories. Now, what happens with intermittent fasting is after a certain period of time of fasting, your body turns into ketosis, which is going into the stored body fat on your body. That is the entire way that body fat is burned. How you lose fat is not lost entirely through sweat, just a little bit. But it's not lost through sweating. You know, it's not lost through any other activity except for pulling stored body fat. So right now on your body is stored body fat. That's excess body fat or excess body fat that has been accumulated from overeating, from lack of activity, you know. And now what you want to do is make sure that you are using your stored body fat as the fuel throughout the day. That's where the caloric deficit comes in, and that's where intermittent fasting comes in. After 12 hours of not eating, your body turns on, boom, the ketosis stage and starts feeding on your stored body fat. That's how you start getting rid of stored body fat. It's really that simple. You know, it's not anything that's overcomplicated. So that's why I personally choose the 16-8 method. Because after that 12 hours of me fasting, I mean I'm not consuming anything that has calories. The only thing that I'll consume is water and black coffee. No creamer, no sugar. I drink coffee. I don't drink candy. People love to turn their coffee into candy. Me, I'm drinking straight coffee. However, so I'm drinking just straight water and black coffee. I'm also doing intermittent or fasted cardio during my intermittent fast, which could be 2 to 3 miles. Or I might even do HIIT. I do whatever. Like, it's so much stigma out here. There are studies that people will go to accommodate their own personal belief, while I can go to other studies that accommodate my personal belief. But what I like to do is put it to use. So I'm telling you what I've used and what works for me. You can go listen to whoever else and find these other studies or whatever that, you know, combat against what I'm saying. We live in a generation right now where everybody's overly educated and talking themselves out of hard work and too busy trying to sound smarter than everyone else without actually putting things to use. So I'm telling you what I put to use to get into the best shape of my life, which is the 16-8 intermittent fast. So what I do personally is I stop my eating at either 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, and I might eat at 10 or 11 in the morning. So if I stop at 6 o'clock, I'll eat my first meal at 10 o'clock. If I stop at 7 o'clock, I'll eat my first meal at 11 o'clock. Within that fasting time frame, when I wake up in the morning, I do my fasted cardio. I do my fasted cardio and my calisthenics. So it may be 2 to 3 miles. and my 100 push-ups, 100 squats, 100 crunches. Or if I'm on my opposite days, I'll do that schedule Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, I'll get on the assault treadmill or the assault bike and hit my sprints and do my plyometrics. This is all during my fasted window. People, oh, it's going to hurt your gains. You're going to lose your gains. I'm getting to the point where I even hate hearing the gains words, because that comes from a lot of the statue crew. You know, the statue crew being the bodybuilders, the people, oh, I don't want to run or do any cardio because I'm going to lose my gains, or whatever. And they aren't doing a damn thing but standing around in bikinis and taking pictures. So I don't listen to anything that they're talking about at all. However, that's the window that works for me, the 16-8 window. Now, when it comes to eating, I have my own caloric deficit that I'm eating still within that window. So I haven't skipped a meal. I will actually compress my meals that I have spread out, be it 4 or 5 meals or whatever the case is, and I will make sure that I get my calories, my required calories, within that 8-hour period. So I'm not skipping meals. I'm not creating a deficit from not eating for 16 hours. I'm actually still within my same proper deficit. And that deficit is going to make my body do what? Dig into my fat stores. Because remember, that is the entire premise of losing body fat, is making sure that your body is digging into your fat stores, your current fat stores, not the new stuff you put in, your current fat stores, and using that for fuel. That simple. You want your body not only in the gym, but throughout the day as well. The gym gives you the biggest boost as far as that goes. However, your daily activity outside is also contributing to your body using that stored body fat for energy. So you going home and vacuuming and cleaning and washing your car and not sitting on your butt watching Netflix and, reruns and, binge watching and all that. You have to make sure that your daily activity and your daily output is still contributing to your deficit. All of these things work together. So that's my spiel on intermittent fasting. And I'm currently on the 16-8 intermittent fast. If you have any questions about it, about what I got going personally and what works for me, please drop any comments and email me any questions. Shoot the questions under here. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow. And I hope you enjoyed this video.